p.m. today, unfortunately, our deputy passed away from his injuries he received in a shooting situation we had. He passed away with his co-workers, his family, his wife, and his parents at his side. There's not going to be a procession or anything tonight. In a final selfless act, he is going to be a organ donor. Right? Is that right? He's organ donating? Okay, so we've confirmed he's going to be an organ donor, and that could take up to a couple days to get the transplant teams in here. He's a strong, healthy male. Family wants every part of him that can be used to save other lives to occur. So it's going to be fluid and dynamic when things happen from here on out. Our other deputy who was injured, we managed to get him in the room to say goodbye before this occurred, that he was with when the shooting occurred. Our department members are up there. We're taking care of the family. The miraculous thing is we flew people in from different parts of the country, and they've driven in, and many National Guard military people here, and every single person made it. Was able to say goodbye to him before he passed away. So I don't know if it was timing or if he was holding on or what happened there, but he hung on till even his sister came from out of state, and she was there when it occurred too. So we want to thank everybody for all the support that they've shown us, all the agencies that have filled for us and covered the streets for us, and all the services from St. Joe's Hospital, the trauma doctors that saved one of our deputies' lives. We also want to thank all the people that have brought us food and made sure we stayed hydrated in these stressful situations. Some of us older guys have been around on these things for, unfortunately, too many times, as we've talked about, but we have a lot of newer people. This is their first time, so we need to take care of them. This job right now is changed in the last few years. We know that the majority of the public and the people out there know that they love and support us. It's hard to determine that these days, but I believe in my heart that's true. And I can tell you our people are ready to go, because as of 3 o'clock this afternoon, we're back out in the streets. The deputies have taken back over the streets of Pierce County, so you will see deputy cars out there working. We had to broadcast to all of them while they're going out back working that he had passed away. So good for our guys. They're here to do the same thing he did, and we're going to continue doing it. And just put your thoughts and prayers with the families and some of the rest of our guys that are out there taking care of business. So that's where we're at, unless somebody has a question.
Sheriff, can you talk about his dedication to public service?
Well, Dom, as he's known, spent time in the military. He was in the National Guard. The picture that we released of Dom with the little boy was not his little boy. That was a friend he made while he was in Afghanistan. So when he was in Afghanistan, that was a different little boy that cozied up next to him in his unit while he was there. He was all about service, and he would have been all about service. And I'll tell you where that comes from after meeting his parents. His parents are something. I mean, they basically stood by his side, and they're very happy with us and the citizens of Pierce County. Told me how much he loved his job. Starts at home. Well, obviously there will be a procession and there will be a funeral, but we're not going to have that information in the next coming days, because he is still at the hospital and they're prepping him, like I said, for organ donation. That could take up till the weekend. To however that works, I don't know. But that is going to happen. Like I said, it's a selfless act at the end, and his family was 100% supportive of it. And what'll happen is when that occurs, and after that's done, we will take him from the hospital in a procession to the next step. And we will definitely let the public know when that is and where it is, because if you want to be there and be part of it, we want you to be there and part of it, because you supported us through this. The second deputy is, like I said, we were able to get him in a wheelchair and get him in to say goodbye to his partner. Improved a lot. Thanks to the surgeons and some tricky stuff that they did, they saved his life. It was really, really close. And he's going to be there for at least a week. And we'll have people there stationed with both of them through the week, and we'll letting them all rest. Everybody's pretty tired. They've been up for a couple days, so letting everybody rest and reset. And our other group of people are back out working the streets again tonight.
Are people donating like flowers or anything like that? Is there some place you want to send them, or is that starting to happen?
We'll put that information out. I know that people have asked us. Darren, do you have, I'm going to do, you guys all know Darren. Darren was on the SWAT team before he was here, so he knows these people really well, and you've done a great job this week. So I'll let him answer those.
All right. Thanks, Sheriff.
Can you give us your perspective of how this has been for you?
It's been terrible. See, I'm already going to start. I know both of these guys. I know Rich very well. I've known him my whole career with the Sheriff's Department. I've known about Dom since he's been here. Nothing but class acts from both of these guys. They're terrific men. They're terrific fathers. They're terrific husbands. They're just good people. And Dom's going to be missed. I had a lot of support at the hospital. I was able to talk to his family members today, express my condolences. A lot of people were able to get and see him. So we're really thankful for that. But, terrible time for our department.
Sergeant Sheriff Richard mentioned there's a lot of younger men and women on the force dealing with this for the first time. How do you guide an agency like that through something like this, even while you all suffer the same?
We have a lot of great people on our department. It's not just the people that are in the leadership positions. There's a lot of deputies out on the field. There's a lot of sergeants. There's a lot of people in administrative staff, office assistants that are just natural leaders that keep us all together. We all support one another. And I thanked one of our chiefs yesterday for just being strong yesterday. Today was not a day he could be strong, but yesterday he was strong for everybody else. So we lean on each other. This is not my first time, just like the sheriff's, it's not his first time. Deputy Papen's been here a long time, it's not his first time. But for the deputies that it is their first time dealing with something like this, they have support from other members of the department. And then we have a lot of support from our community, and that's the reason why we do this job. And when we see that support, it just makes you feel grateful for the type of community that we have that supports us.
Darren, the sheriff mentioned yesterday that this department is unfortunately getting good at dealing with these types of situations, but it's something that the department can't get used to. It's got to be terrible.
Yeah, every single time it's terrible. But again, we have good people with good character that will stick up and stand up for their brothers and sisters. So we're all family here, and I said we support each other through these tough times. It's unfortunate, but we've seen the worst of the worst in Pierce County. It seems like time and time again. So yeah, we're ready. We're ready for the challenge when it comes up. That's the big thing. That's right. This is the best support system I've ever had. I wouldn't want to work anywhere else. My dad works here. My brother-in-law works here. Everyone else here is my brothers and sisters as well. I grew up in this community. I started out in San Diego, and when it was time to come back home, there was no question where I was going. I love this department. I love all of our deputies. I love Sergeant Rich Scaniff. I love Deputy Dom Calata. If you saw the picture that we released today, that smile is Dom in a nutshell. If you look at the picture, I don't want to make fun of him, but he's not this big, tough-looking guy. He's kind of scrawny a little bit, but he's a really nice person. He's one of the nicest people I've ever been around. So I I would want people to remember him for that. He's not a big, tough guy. That's not what we want to remember him as. He was a good man.
Can you share a little bit about how he was like on everyday assignments out of the field between you and the guys and the other men and women on the field?
Somebody yesterday told me that they had never seen Dom make a mistake, and that Dom was just a superstar at everything, and I would agree with that. Not saying that I've never heard him yell at anyone. Not saying he never has, but he just had this cool personality to him, and he was here for his community. He liked talking to people. He liked serving his community. This is where he grew up, so he wanted to stay here and serve as well, and I'm glad he had the opportunity to serve with me.
Do we know how many lives he's going to get to save as an organ donor?
I don't have that information, no. But
Sergeant Moss, we know that Dom was really good at his job. The sheriff mentioned that his parents said that he loved his job. Can you kind of explain a little bit on that as well? His passion for his job.
yeah, Dom held a lot of different positions on this department. He started out in patrol. I told the story earlier this morning. I was a sergeant in day shift. Actually, no, I was a detective when he first started. And I was reading these reports coming in from Dominique Calata, and I would ask his FTO, I would say, "Who's this Dominique lady? She's pretty good at writing reports." And they would keep reminding me, Dom is a guy. I'm like, oh, okay, Dom. I'll remember Dom, and I'll stick with that because that's easier. But from the get-go, I could see that he was going to do well here. He worked for Pierce Transit for several years. Out of Pierce Transit, then he went to our. Did he go to our crime suppression team? Our crime suppression team for several years. It was part of the not narcotics. They changed the name so many times. Anyway, he was on our proactive crime suppression team, and he excelled at doing that. They did a little bit of undercover work. He also got on the SWAT team, so that kind of played hand in hand. His SWAT team leader was also a supervisor at the time, and they loved to go out and catch people, put people in jail. They did it the right way. He wasn't one to start fights. He wasn't one to cause problems, but he would get the job done. He did a phenomenal job at everything he did. Just recently, that unit had to close down, and Dom was working at our Edgewood police division. So Deputy Calata worked there with my brother-in-law. He got to know him very well, and all the guys over there. It's a smaller agency that we contract for. So everybody in Edgewood Police Department works for the Sheriff's Department, and he's really going to be missed by all of them. And the city of Edgewood is going to miss Dom as well. He did a really good job making connections in the city, and I know that they're going to miss him. Okay, thank you.
So there you're hearing from Pierce County Sheriff's Department that Sergeant Darren Moss, the public information officer, and we heard from Sheriff Ed Troyer. Sheriff Troyer getting visibly choked up. Sheriff Troyer, I talked to him for half an hour last night, late at night, just going over a lot of the different things that have happened, and he said that Dom's mother came up to him, and as soon as she saw him, just grabbed him and gave him a bear hug. And that has obviously stayed with him. They're all working on little sleep. They're all very emotional. You know, we've been through these line of duty deaths with Pierce County over the years. This one, it seems to have rattled people in the department more than I can remember. And I think the reason for that is in past ones, a lot of times they were searching for a suspect, so they were sort of focused on that. I think of Deputy Daniel McCartney, who was shot and killed in Fredericksburg, responding to a home invasion, and then they had suspects outstanding, and so they kind of had to focus on that. This time, the suspect is dead, and they were all pulling for Dom, knowing that, you know, the worst could happen. And then today, of course, he passed away. So it's really taken a hit on everybody. They had other departments out answering calls, but now the deputies are all back on duty.
And you could tell what kind of impact he made, what kind of man he was, right? This was a life of service. He was with the National Guard here in Washington. He also served in the Army for 8 years before he became a deputy in Pierce County. I mean, this is what he was dedicated to do.
And you look at the juxtaposition between the guy accused of shooting both of them, who has a long criminal history and wanted for a violent assault on a 62-year-old innocent victim, just beating the man to a pulp, and you look at the life of service that Dom had, and you just struggle to, to understand how things get this way and how bad they are. And violence is up on law enforcement across the country, and now it has finally come back here home in our area.
Yeah. Well, we're going to stay on top of this as this story continues to develop. We'll bring you the very latest here on Fox 13, as well as our website, fox13seattle.com.